I'm singing the song. It's one of those things. But here we are today, 2026, great month of May, on the Russ Meek Speaks show. I'm Leslie Blair here, trying to talk with a pretty sharp gentleman. We're going to talk about the future of things that are happening in the world of aquatics, what people can actually do, and different things in the communities. So I'll let you introduce yourself. Tell me about, what are you doing? How can you make this happen?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Don Patterson Jr. with Urban Transformation Network. We are an urban farm located right here on the west side of Chicago, and we focus on fresh food, access, education, bringing joy and healthy back to our community. Really trying to combat a lot of the diseases that run prevalent through our community, as far as high blood pressure, heart disease, and we found that a lot of that starts with our food, what we put into our bodies.
You are what you eat.
You are what you eat. And it's funny you say that. I was on a trip and I met with a guy. They own over 900 acres of farmland in Ohio, and he said, it's not that you are what you eat, you are what you eats. So whatever the animal that you're eating, whatever they eat, that's what you are. Right? So you really want to focus on quality meat. What is the cow being fed? Are they being fed grass, or are they being fed chemicals and things of that nature? So it's been a journey. I've learned a lot about agriculture, conservation, food, healthy eating, healthy mind, healthy body, and how all these things are correlated and work together.
Got it. I work with a lot of people, different areas. I work with a number of doctors in the medical world, and they basically give me the information to say that some of the major problems that we have in the people of color's communities right now, what we eat, one, to increase high blood pressure, looking at the sickness in the heart, looking at other issues that are basically affecting the majority of the population, are based on what they eat.
Yes.
So the format is, if we change what we eat and how we do it, we get better.
Yes. I mean, from not just a physical, how you look standpoint, but of how you think. I mean, food affects your mind. It affects how you feel throughout the day, your mood, depression and anxiety. All these things are directly correlated with what you put into your body. And there's science articles and nutrition studies from top dietitians that have all went out there to prove that what you put into your body, food as medicine programs, can really have healing effects on this. Overall, what we focus on is just how you feel throughout your day, right? And you want to feel at your best, so you can perform your best and be your best, whether that's being a better grandmother, or being a better father or mother to your kid, or showing up better at work, having more energy, and all those things contribute to having a real joyful life.
How did this get started?
It's a great question. So, me and my father started this business, back in 2013, and me and him both got accounting backgrounds. And a lot of people ask, how did the two accountants get into farming? And we saw a need in the community, and we started with just a simple campaign of "Don't Shoot, We're Gardening," and we would go around to local churches on the west side of the community and find vacant parking lot land and turn those into garden beds. And we would get kids ownership of each garden, teach them about gardening and conservation. And the whole goal then was reusing your land and taking the land that you have in your own backyard and making that land work for you. And really starting on an educational level of, how do you grow food and how do you grow plants. And from there, with the grace of God, it's moved on from this garden beds to we had our first indoor aquaponics facility at Metro Farms, and that was growing thousands of heads of fresh produce inside year round. And then we also have greenhouse space outside, and that has fast forward now to us moving into our new facility. I don't know if you remember Muanoik.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day. So we actually took over the Muanoik building right there on 4848 West Madison. And it's a great story. We go from a meat grocery store that was great for the community, but now we're transforming us from meat to growing fresh produce and leafy greens and doing that right in the heart of the community. And
Okay.
that's a great facility. That's going to be housing our indoor aquaponics, hydroponics, aquaculture. It's going to have podcasts and meeting areas and event space, and we're also going to have outdoor grow space. So it's going to be a great learning facility where you'll be able to see the difference between traditional farming, outdoor greenhouse space. So when you think traditional farming, you think growing in the soil, right? Versus more future technology trends of farming, which is soilless environment, but growing completely indoors.
Okay.
And that has numerous of benefits of not just for the quality of the crops that you're growing, but also for the environment in which you're growing in as well.
I mean, I've had some projects that I've looked at in the past. We had format set up where the old way of just lots of land and farming, putting the seeds and things of that nature, going to be evaporated.
Yes.
Agroponics, where basically we're going to be utilizing water in factories, basically to, in half the time, produce tons of food that's edible, clean, and pure.
Yep.
Is that real?
It's real. It's real, and that's is what we're doing. It's crazy, you know. When you I mentioned the word aquaponics, that can be a big word, but it's, if you break it down, it's aqua life, which is your fish life, and then you got ponics, which is hydroponics, which is growing food in the soil's environment, and it's completely closed loop. So it actually works where you have, imagine you got we use commercial scale, so we got big 500-gallon tanks that might have 200 to 300 fish in each tank, and we raise tilapia from a baby stage.
Okay.
So imagine you have a huge tank, or let's say you have a fish tank, and it's filled with tilapia, and the tilapia, of course, got to use the bathroom, and they poop, and that poop actually has your nitrates and all the quality ingredients that the food and plants need to actually grow. So that poop water then gets filtered through the system, and then that filtered water then goes into the grow beds, right?
Okay.
On those grow beds, that's where your plants are sitting, and the roots of the plants are soaked in the water. So the roots of plants are sitting in the water, and they're absorbing all this nutrients that they're getting from the fish poop and the filtered fish poop water, right? And that allows them to grow, and it's almost like steroids for the plants, and it's natural, and they just grow beautiful. They grow faster. It's a better harvest time, and the cool thing is that those same roots that the plants have actually clean the water as well, and that water goes right back into the fish tanks. So it's a full closed loop system. You're using 99% less water than a traditional farm. You can grow 10 times more per square footage than a traditional farm, right, where you might need a whole bunch of land, to where we can have smaller prints and you can grow vertical. This is great for our environment, especially in our communities where we have a lot of food deserts, and there's not access to these grocery stores that have these fresh produce that we need to nourish our bodies.
So let me understand. I got some communities in Chicago.
Yeah.
Let's say South Side, and a ton of vacant lots.
Yep.
That can be used for farming.
That can be used for farming.
Then we also have a number of factories that are no longer in process that could be converted for agroponics and different production within those facilities, producing tons of food and providing healthy food for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I keep getting, again, there's food deserts and no good things for people. Why are we saying that? We have opportunity to make the environment better.
We do.
So why isn't this coming out in the media?
Oh, that's a great question, and it's a lot of questions we always have. Why does this street look like that, or why do these buildings on this block look like that? And I mean, a lot of it's just capital, you know, to convert these vacant warehouses and or do what we do indoors takes capital to do, and oftentimes our communities are the last areas to get the capital.
Okay, let me start with the first piece. I got my backyard.
Yes.
Again, I got a house. I got a big backyard. How much is it going to cost me to turn it into productive food-producing land?
Oh, you can do it. You can do it for probably under $200 or under $100. Yeah.
And how much time?
And now the time is the thing. I mean, you can just do traditional outdoor growing where you're growing basil and tomatoes, and you're doing that in a garden bed or a raised garden bed. you can go to Home Depot, and that's no time. Really putting your land and your area to use. And that just takes basic learning skills of horticulture. That's something simple you can do. On a small scale of aquaponics, you can get a fish tank the size of this table, and you can have a couple goldfish in there, and you get a foam, get like a styrofoam raft, poke some holes, carve some holes on the top, let that raft sit on top of that water, right? And then they have something called Rockwell. Rockwell is like think of a sponge, and it's like gonna be your replacement for soil. So let's say when you go to Home Depot and you get like a tree leading plant where it's just like a size of dirt and the plant's like half grown, and then you're supposed to go put that in soil and let it grow. It's the same idea where you have this rock well and you just sit it in the little hole in the raft, put the seed in there, and then just watch it grow.
Okay.
Yep, and it's a mini aquaponics system.
Got it.
But you can start things like that in your house, start playing with it, seeing what works, what doesn't work, how much light you might need, things of that nature. And you can really just use your own land. And basil's easy to grow, bell peppers are easy to grow, and all those things are nutritious for the body.
When I looked at these projects in the past, we picked up agroponics because you can produce on a 365 days a year format using agroponics and produce roughly in a third of the time that normal production takes. Is that true?
That is true. That is true, because when you're doing indoor farming, you don't have to fight against Mother Nature. So it's completely controlled environment to where you don't have to worry about thunderstorms and any type of outside climate affecting your crops or any droughts or anything like that. Everything's controlled, everything's predictable. You're usually using artificial lighting unless you're in a greenhouse type of space. Okay. And that allows for more predictive growing, higher yield crops, all those things. And it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible.
Now, my question to you, how do we get products that you guys available for sale?
Yes, farmers markets. Farmers markets are always usually our main outlet. In our main outlet, we also do giveaways and things of that nature when we are giving away produce that's still left over that we just haven't sold or anything like that.
Okay, how do we find that information out?
On our website. That's a great question.
What is the website, by the way?
UrbanTransformationNetwork.org. Okay. We are a nonprofit, so all of our stuff that we sell goes right back into the business to allow us to do educational programs and continue to educate and feed our communities.
Okay. Yeah. So my question to you is, right now, given what you guys are producing, do you guys sell back to the for-profit retailers that do groceries and things like that?
We don't, just because from an economical standpoint, the numbers don't work out. Okay. Because it does cost more to produce food indoor versus your traditional farm that grows outdoor as well. Okay. Yeah. So from a money standpoint, when you're talking big box retailer, the numbers don't play out. You'll probably be operating at a negative margin.
Got it.
That route.
How many people can you guys employ and provide for numerically?
That's a good question. I don't know if I have a direct number of how many people. As we're still building out our facility and we're growing, we're going to have numerous programs. A lot of the stuff will be internships that kids can participate in, students can participate in, workforce development programs that students can participate in as well. As far as employment, I don't want to be facetious and give out a wrong number, but as these things build, hopefully we'll be able to employ tens to hundreds of people one day. Okay. That's the goal. If you can't directly employ them, it's connecting them to opportunities. In the field of agriculture, that's another great thing that I get a lot of students that come through our program, have no clue, never even knew there were career fields in agriculture. Okay. And it's an industry where there's a lot of unemployment. There's a lot of room, there's a lot of space to grow, but a lot of people, a lot of kids, they just don't find it interesting. They think that's just farming. And there's so many different things that you can do in the field of agriculture that you can use to support your life and make a great living. There's a demand for people that have these skills, that understand hydroponics, the technology behind it, that also understand the basics of horticulture and growing and things of that nature. There's opportunity out there, and there's institutions and colleges that we work with that, you know, are ready, that are trying to get kids, into these programs.
We used to have in America a huge population of African American farmers,
Yeah.
which was depleted rapidly.
It has.
And actually, there was a subsidy that was given back to the black farmers because of all the things that were put in place that affected farming.
For sure.
So right
sure.
now, are we going to see more African Americans coming back into the world of farming?
We hope so. We definitely hope so. I was actually speaking with some people over the board of that deal with a lot of community colleges, and they said that the biggest increase of graduates have been African American males and women. They have seen a huge increase in the numbers as success rate of graduates. If we can get these kids and get these people understanding what agriculture is, find some people that might have an interest in that, I believe so. Hopefully one day people will be able to turn their own yards, their own backyards, into garden beds, and get back to the old community, how communities used to work when your neighbor needed something. And imagine if everybody's backyard was somebody's producing tomatoes, and your other neighbor was producing bell peppers, and another one was producing lettuce and collard greens.
So
you know,
we know where everything's being produced.
you know where everything's being produced. You know your neighbor's like, hey, I need a couple of tomatoes. You got any extra tomatoes you grown this summer or anything like that? You know, you walk right over and you got some fresh produce, and you don't have to take a bus to the grocery store in another town.
So if I'm trying to contact you guys to set up a farm format in the backyard, do you guys come over, do the review of my space and what I need to put in and the different fertilizer?
That's a great business idea. Actually, I'm gonna have to write that down. At this moment, we don't do the in-person house setup or anything like that. We're completely focused on building out our operations and making sure that we're able to deliver the impact that we need to the community, and a lot of that takes place within our facility.
Okay.
But we offer classes and things like that will be able to help you get started.
Got it.
And
So
understand that.
there's a report that we did also. I get involved with a few different organizations like NPR and a few different public radio stations, and we talk about the possibilities out there. And agriculture is a huge marketplace.
It is.
And
We gotta eat.
We gotta eat. That's a given. That's a done deal. There's a huge amount of demand for people to do it. Had been a number of people from different places, maybe South America or Mexico or different places of that nature. With Donald Trump, he's kind of sent them back home.
Yeah.
Now that we don't have the people, we still have the demand.
Yes.
And right now, we have a huge, unfortunately, population in the penal system.
Yeah.
Where we're trying to educate, train folks to be productive in life.
Yeah.
And right now, they're saying you can come out of prison, smoke weed, and not go to jail, and you can even get in the yard and you can do some gardening here and different things of that nature. Is this a model that could possibly be set up to work?
I believe so. I believe there's something there between getting people connected to their land, and really using everything they have as a resource in order to generate or build a sustainable life for themselves. I think it's easy to say, you know, I'm gonna try to just grow some plants and maybe I can make some money off of it, or maybe not. But if you give people the tools and the access and the understanding, you'll be surprised what you can create. You'll be surprised what you can build, and you'll be surprised the impact and the change that you can have.
Now, do you guys only do food, agro product, or do you do anything in the marijuana side and things of that nature, or is it purely in the food product?
Completely in the food product. We haven't got any of the medicinal or marijuana space or anything like that.
Okay.
We definitely thought about it, but ended up deciding that it's not the route that we're gonna go.
A little different, but hey, it's a market
different.
that's out there.
It's a market. I mean, it's money. I'm a numbers guy like yourself, and you know the yield on a marijuana plant is a lot higher than what you're gonna get for a head of lettuce. You know, so for those that are out there that do want to experience, and that is a type of agriculture, that is a type of horticulture and growing. And as long as you're abiding by the laws as far as homegrown, and I believe that you can grow a substantial amount at home without actually having a full facility and a license. It's definitely a way. That's another way to generate.
I haven't looked at it, but
yeah.
Is that market open for agroponics? The marijuana?
That's what they use. They use aquaponics. They're not using aquaponics, but they use mainly hydroponics. Some might use aeroponics.
Okay.
Yeah, but to my understanding, it's mainly just greenhouse and hydroponic growing that they use to grow marijuana plants. In Chicago, you're probably going to be doing something more along hydroponics growing, so you're going to need some artificial lighting that the plants might need. But that same knowledge that you're going to need to grow a marijuana plant can transfer over to anything else that you want to grow as well.
So right now for you guys, would it be good for you guys to have a Soldier Field type stadium to start your production?
I don't think so. I always don't think, I'm under the belief, and kind of my business philosophy is the bigger is not always better, you know, and especially when you're doing indoor growing and you don't need much space to actually grow a substantial amount. It's better to do what you control and kind of expand out. And it does, like we said, it does cost more to grow indoors because you're using artificial lighting. So you think about your electricity and things of that nature. The bigger the stadium, the bigger it is that you have to fill and grow with food, the higher the cost is. Right. So it's really building. The story is good of growing plants in a local environment in these food desert communities, but we got to keep the lights on, and we got to keep this going so we can make sure we have impact. So having various other streams of revenue and other streams of way to get people engaged, but also bring value to not just the neighborhood, but also to the organization as well, allows us to continue our mission.
I got millions of people out here that need food, and we need to provide. You got to eat. And the format right now is what's needed. What do you guys need most to make this thing grow?
I would say we need most, the support and funding, and then support and participation within the community. People that want to participate in these programs that we're going to have, that want to get involved in educational programs. When we put the legwork of going out to these large college institutions to come partner with us, and we're going to meet with these large corporations to come partner with us, they want to support the community. They recognize the need and they want to support, but it got to be people that want to participate, that want to be a part of the programs, that want to be a part of the movement, you have to want to be better. You have to want to feel better. You have to want to live a joyful life.
Is this going to be a grassroots type situation where each church in the community, and we got tons of churches.
We got a lot of churches.
Can basically get out and say, hey, all my members, this is what God wants you to do. We got to grow.
God wants you to do the land. 100%. Who knows? Once you give our people the tools that they need, there's no telling what they can do. They might come up with innovative ways in order to grow produce, but also make money from it that we never thought about. Whether that's a combined network of churches that all grow food, and they have every Saturday that they're distributing all the food that has been grown by the members, and those foods are then going back into the community of the people that are serving the foods. So many different ways. Maybe you want to sell. Maybe you got a young entrepreneur, and he wants to go e-commerce and sell directly online. All right, so how do you sell your produce online? How do you sell the boxes of tomatoes you done grown online? And who are you selling it to? So many different things you can do with it. I just love to see people get excited about, oh, this is in our community. Like, oh, I didn't know we have indoor produce being grown right down the street.
I don't need to hear about the shots and things of that nature going on every day. Now I can tell you about production that's actually taking place
Yes.
in our community.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the hardest thing and the challenge that we will always face is you can make a product available for a group of people, but you can't force them to eat it, right? So how do we change our culture around food to incorporate food that's going to be more nutritious for us and for our bodies and ultimately for our community? If a lot of the foods like red meats and all these things from the place that we took over used to sell, if all those things are having a negative impact on the body, how do we get our kids, how do we get our youth, how do we get people to want to change the way that they eat and not kind of have this negative connotation around vegetables, right? How do we get them to want to add maybe some basil, some spinach to the burger, or maybe use alternative sources and things of that nature? We have a senior Feel Better Club, right? And that's a program where seniors come together and they talk about ways to impact the community, and mainly they like to go have fun. They come together, they just went to go see the Michael Jackson movie and they have fun. But a big thing that we try to get them involved in is mentoring to the young. If you were 20 years younger, 30 years younger, what would you tell your younger self to start doing now? And when I go talk to these people, a lot of them say I would have changed my food habits. I wouldn't eat this, or I would start eating this a lot sooner, So, start thinking about the longevity of your body. Think about the type of life you want to live. Don't put a ceiling on yourself of what's achievable. And you'll be surprised what just changing your diet can do to the whole entirety of how you show up.
Yep, that's the whole format.
Yeah.
What's the future for you guys right now? Give me the 5-10-year plan.
5 to 10 year plan. So the 5-year plan will look like we have 4848 West Madison up and running, full head of steam. You got all the programs are working. We're growing produce at a rapid pace, and we're also selling the produce. And we have all our partners, school partners, corporate partners, and sponsorships all coming together. Our events are packed out. Our tree line event is packed out. All the bells and whistles are full and growing. I'm under the found belief you should not grow your business. You should not scale your business until you have the model down packed and it's up and running. Once we have that model down packed and up and running, then the sky's the limit. Then it's not just the West Side community, because when I travel around, the number one thing, people almost get mad at me. When I tell them I could talk to somebody on the South Side of Chicago. I can be over in Detroit, and I tell them what I'm doing, and they'll start getting mad because they're mad. They're like, I need this here. I need this in my community, right? So every community needs what we're doing. Every community, not just the communities that are struggling, the food desert communities, which are the ones that we focus on first, but even your affluent communities might need it as well. So the expansion from there is, once you have the model down, is then going to the cities that need it most.
There's a huge amount of cities that need it.
My
question right now, everyone sees the model, they like it, but why are they not getting it done?
Yeah, I mean, that's the old age question. It takes somebody that really wants to get it done and that's able to see it through. Nothing's easy. Nothing in this life that you're gonna want to do. And I'm only 34, and everything I've tried to do that I thought was gonna be easy to do has become very hard. And when those roadblocks come in front of you, you can't quit. You gotta keep plowing through, and you can't stop. My father would tell me, he'd be like, "We can't stop. We lose a deal, we can't stop." And I think that people love the idea, they fantasize about it, and then once they get working in it, they start meeting challenges and roadblocks, and then you're just like, I don't really want to deal with all this. I don't want to deal with all this.
Don't need this headache.
I don't need this headache. I don't want to deal with the government. I don't want to deal with this and that. And, I'm just going to go back to going to the grocery store or going to a corner store wherever I get my food at. So it takes people that want to make change, and you got to want to make change in yourself, and then once you make change in yourself, you got to want to make change for your community.
Good. So I'm trying to get the logic to say that we got a lot of space where production can be done.
Yes.
We have a lot of gardens that can be set up.
Yep.
We have a lot of consumption being done, especially by schools young people, teenagers, and a lot of the stuff that you guys are producing, they will eat if presented the right way.
If presented the right way. Yep. I agree. A technique I like to use, we call is layering, is where you take food that somebody's interested in and you sneak some goodness in there, you know. So I had a group of athletes that came, and they took a tour around our farm and stuff, and we had a dietitian come and speak to them about their diet and things. And, you know, they love burgers, French fries. And I'm talking to a kid. He's like, "Well, how can I don't know what to do with this basil. I don't know what to do with the spinach." I said, "Well, you like burgers, right? Put some spinach on your burger. You're not gonna really taste it. It's more nutritious. Dark leafy greens are more nutritious than your traditional just lettuce. It's gonna have more. It's gonna have more vitamins. It's gonna hit everything that you need in your body. If you can get more dark leafy greens, that includes collard greens, into your diet, you're off to a good start. Any way that you can start incorporating that in there, you're gonna. It's funny. The brain is gonna start finding new ways of how I can get this in there.
It's wild. I have a 17-year-old daughter who,
of
course, she always say, "Dad, let's go to the store. Look, where do you want to go eat?" "Oh, let's go to Heck's. Go someplace here."
Yeah, let's go to Cane's.
Yeah, let's go to Cane's. Trying to educate people to make them feel comfortable with eating something good for them.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm just trying to say it's not difficult. Let me show you what will happen to you if you don't do this.
Yeah.
And that's an easy thing. I can give you a ton of folks that I will change my diet, but you have the opportunity today to make that change.
It's tough. I mean, anybody that's out there that knows the psychology to motivate people, you know. People, I remember I was in school, we used to have Dare that would come through, and they would tell you, don't smoke. If you have a smoke, you're going to have a hole in your throat. It didn't stop people from smoking.
No, it did not change it.
It did not change the thing.
I'm vaping now. Like,
I'm vaping. It's, you know, so it's like are people guided by the fear if you tell people this is what will happen to you then if you don't, or this is what will happen to you if you do, right? I don't know what motivates them. I think with us and our people, and I'm speaking specifically to the Black community, I think a lot of our culture is driven by the celebrities in the media, right? So if we have celebrities preaching eating good, or in their music or in their talks, they're like, I'm gonna eat a salad, and this becomes the norm.
Yeah, it's
right?
You get the new Michael Jordans with this piece of salad,
right? And, you know, and you get the people. That's what, unfortunately, like that's where the fastest way to impact in our culture is through celebrities and through endorsements. And if you have your musicians are eating healthy and they're not talking about eating bad, and you have the people that are prominent figures and they're like, oh yeah, this is all I eat. I don't eat this and that. I only eat this. And you're like, okay, well, this person achieved this, right? So maybe I should start eating what they eat.
Yeah, if I could jump like him, I'm gonna eat like him.
Right. So, you know, I think that can have a large impact as well. But I think it just starts really with the parents. Honestly, I think it starts with our parents, and what we start our kids on eating early. It's going to carry what they decide to eat later on in life, but they got to have access.
Got to do that. Question to you: what does corporate America that gets the billions and trillions of dollars that being produced in the communities every day?
Yeah.
What do we want corporate America to do with what you guys are trying to achieve? Do we want them to change their actual consumption patterns and utilize what's basically produced from farms that you guys have, or what do we want them to do?
I would say a little both. A little bit of that, what you just spoke, but we really want them to start supporting organizations that are trying to make an impact in the community, right? If you're taking dollars out the community, make sure you're putting dollars back into the community. Supporting, there's a lot of, we talked about how there's a lot of vacant land not being used, but if you drive around the west side or the south side of Chicago, there are urban gardens, there are land that's being repurposed, and you see people setting up gardens and little mini farms and things of that nature. And there's a couple organizations that are trying to do what we do, and these corporations should be supporting with their dollars. $1 million to $1 billion corporation is like giving somebody $100, giving somebody $50, but that $1 million can have a huge impact on the radius of the impact of the people that it can affect. And
I mean, because I'm looking at the format here. Chicago Community Trust gives away billions of dollars.
They do.
And we fund different organizations that also are supposed to help the community.
Yeah.
What is it that we need to do to get the trust to make contributions?
Yeah, I mean the trust has been doing a great job. I'm familiar with the community trust. They have invested in some great organizations that have done some great things in the community, especially along the lines of business and entrepreneurship, and then providing health access as far as medicine, things of that nature. So I do commend the trust on really putting their dollars toward the community. But there's always more. There's always more we can do, and make sure that we're supporting organizations that have different missions. Yeah. It's great that an organization has a mission to teach our next leader of entrepreneurs and business people. We need that. Okay. It's great that we have an organization that's focused on making sure that medical access is available in the community, that you have a doctor that you can go to, right? There's a new facility right on Austin that just opened up, and those things are important. Also, our food is important, making sure that we're investing in organizations that are bringing healthy food back to our communities. In our communities. I hated that I have to drive down Madison, and if I start driving down Madison and I'm on Madison and Racine or Madison and Green, and I just start heading west, I can see the change in the neighborhood. I can see the decrease in the grocery stores. I can see the grocery stores getting further and further away from the communities that are more devastated. Mm-hmm. And we need foods. We need food in these communities because it affects the way I think. It affects the way I show up, my mood. Am I angry? Am I irritable? Am I depressed? Do I just want to fight, right? Food has an impact on all these things, right? And it's important that these large corporations, that our city, that our government officials, that they recognize this need. And I believe they do. It's just on finding a solution that actually works and that's sustainable over time.
Are you finding any support from the state of Illinois? Are they really trying to get this up and rolling?
Yeah. We honestly, our biggest supporters have been like college institutions, your U of I's, your UIC, University of Illinois, and even your community colleges. They're all asking, how can we support? How can we really bring this thing to life and together? I think the biggest support is the funding. You can build the programs, but you got to be able to fund the programs.
So you have the trust that's involved. That's good. But the other side is take the biggest corporation around the country, Walmart, give a ton of money away.
Yeah, the Walter Foundation.
Are they looking to support these types of actions?
I believe they are. I believe the Walter Foundation, they support sustainability and environmental friendly organizations, which is right in our field of work. But a lot of these things, a lot of these processes, it's political, it's even the community trust, you still got to go through a grant application. Yep. And they got to read the application. They got to select your application out of all the other applications, right? And you never know who knows who. And, so that's where a lot of our work comes in, making sure that we're in the right rooms with the right people that can get things done. And I would never chastise any of these great foundations like the Walton Foundation or any of these other foundations. The Lumpkin Foundation does great things in the Austin community as well. It's just getting in front of them and making sure that we can get support for those different type of things, right? And I think our community has to demand it. We got to say we want this in our neighborhood. Come together, say we want it and we need it. And we want this organization. We trust this organization to do what they say do. And don't give that trust to anybody. Let us prove that trust to you.
Got it. Yeah. Again, it's not an easy process. I've sat on the boards of different organizations like the Chicago Community Trust and different things that they've done. Yeah. And it's not easy.
Not easy.
It's a format where you try to see what can I do and change to make things better.
Yeah.
But right now, my biggest format is I'm trying to find different organizations that are good, help them to get better, and to help the community.
Yeah, and that's a great thing. You need support. You need support, and you got to have a community that wants what you're doing, and then you got to have people that want to see you succeed.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand though. my people, let's say from the African American community,
Yes.
what is it that I have to do to educate them to say, look, help yourself, help your people, help your community?
Yeah. First simple thing is just Google what food does to the body. Google what a healthy diet looks like. Look at the Mediterranean diet. And I don't even like saying diet. I call it a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change. And just Google the benefits. And you start seeing like, wow. So if I just add some kale, if I eat some lentils, okay, some tomatoes, some cucumbers, okay, it's going to improve this. It's going to decrease. Food and medicine isn't a slogan. That's a real thing. They're using food to heal the chronic diseases.
Right.
When you have arthritis, when you have high blood pressure, when you experience blood clogs and all these natures, a lot of these things can be combated by what we put into our body. And once you start eating those things and feeling those things, I mean, my uncle is my example for life. He's in his late 70s, and he probably moves the best out of all his brothers and sisters. And he gave up meat, and I remember being a kid at Christmas, like, Uncle's crazy. Why is he not eating no meat? He don't see all this beautiful food over here on Christmas and Thanksgiving, and he got a salad.
Okay, is there an apple there?
Something ain't right with Unc. But, you know, fast forward 20 years, he's moving. He can ride a bike to work. He can walk to work, you know. He's in his late 70s, and he can still work, you know. And it's like, oh, okay, this is what food does to your body. This is what, you know, a healthy diet does. It's like, okay, I see now. I see.
And that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
You guys have a model right now that's helping. We
Yes.
got a lot of youth. How are you getting to the youth of what you guys do?
Great question. So youth, we attack the schools. The youth is important. I love the youth. I love kids actually like getting their hands dirty. When we just had school over and they helped plant some of the outdoor grow beds, and they was working. They worked quick, and they liked getting their hands dirty and planting and pushing the wheelbarrows, carrying the dirt. For us, our strategy is we hit the schools, and we offer tours for kids to come through and kind of get the experience. We call it our future of food tour, where you get to see how agriculture started to where it's going towards the future. We got robotics in there. We got robotic farming that we're moving towards. That's very interesting stuff. So that's how we get to youth, is through the schools. How we get the youth interested is meeting them where they're at. Oftentimes they don't too much want to hear somebody else preach about eat your vegetables. So it's more about, for me, I love our technology program because it's a hidden way for me to educate you on agriculture.
Okay.
You might take our program on robotics, and it'll work with our farm bot, and it'll be in what they call ag tech, which is agriculture technology. And that's a field, that's a career field, an educational field. And they might come to us, they're like, I just want to learn how to build a robot, how to use the large language models, how to use artificial intelligence, how to use data science and all these things in order to program this robot to perform a task. Okay. Well, if we have a farm bed and your task is to program that robot to manage that farm bed, you have to understand how a farm works. You have to understand the life cycle of a plant. You have to understand when that plant needs light. You have to understand when that plant needs water, because you have to put that in the bot to do that, right? So it's, okay, well, I'm interested in robots. That's great. I'm going to teach you your skills that you can use to transfer to any field that you want, because now you understand how to build and program robots and manage data sets. But I'm also teaching you in the back how to grow food.
Okay, so it's a format. Talking about the youth, it's a different world.
It is.
They think differently. It's a matter of saying, hey, they learn differently than what you would say, hey, we used to do. But it's a format to say, hey, they need to be educated.
They need to be educated.
Right now, they are the future.
They are.
So what we teach them today will be the options of tomorrow.
Yeah, and we all want to see our community thrive. You want to see them do their best.
Okay, so can we get this done?
I think we can get this done.
I got the 5-year plan. Can we make this work? Or is it going to be a 10, or is this going to be a 100-year plan?
I'm trying to keep it going till my kids come of age and they ready, you know. This thing should be multi-generational, for sure.
I get scared because there's so much that we need to do.
Yeah.
And so much that could be helpful in our community. So my question comes back to say, hey, what exactly will work and really benefit the masses?
Yeah. That's a good question. And I would like to say, to be honest, I think we're still trying to figure out what will work on the scale. And that's why I said we really have to nail and focus on our one model and our one facility and make sure it works. It's been working since 2014 as we've gradually been able to grow. But how do we impact more people while being able to keep the lights on and impact people, right? Because you still have to run a business at the end of the day. And it feels good that you're helping people, but you can't help people if you're not taking care of the business. And that's where a lot of companies fail. Even the companies that are for profit and they build these huge warehouses to grow food indoors, a lot of them go out of business. We have a unique model that I think that will allow us to be successful over time. I think this model will be unique to our community, and we will keep it unique to our community to make sure it's thriving in our community. And that model is having education involved, having other programs involved, having other events involved, having different products involved, right? Where the farm becomes not something that you grow, but it becomes an experience, and then it transforms you. Because that urban transformation, we really want to transform our communities, and we call it a network because we want to bring a network of people together in order to really make this thing work. And I think it takes more than just one company do it, more than one group doing it. I think it takes people demanding certain things in their community, saying we need this and we want this. And
Demand this.
Talk to your local officials. You know, their offices are right down the street. Say we want this. Demand this. Get a letter. Have everybody sign and say we want urban farming in our community.
Got it.
You
So
know?
right now we got the format on the table. We had a sharp young man here.
Thank you.
Telling you how you can get it done.
Yeah.
And the question is, we can even look at their website and get some more information of how you can set things up, and possibly even get some information about your own backyard and how you can get this set up.
Yeah, get it set up. I mean, it's healing. It's surprising how people feel after they just plant a couple crops, and you get out there, get your mind free. You're out there in the sun, and you're outside. And back to the kids, I think that's how you teach kids. It's not so much in the classroom, but it's getting that hands-on experience.
Well, I'm basically sold.
Yes.
Key point, what do you want to walk away from the show to saying, this is what you want people to understand?
You're important. And in order for you, I'm obsessed with people being their best, whatever form that is. You don't have to be some great billionaire, and you don't have to be Michael Jordan, but I want you to be your best. And I need you to understand, in order for you to be your best, it really starts, the number one thing, it starts with what you put in your body and what you eat. Because what you eat, like you said earlier, is what you become. And it shows. And if you can just try it for 2 weeks. You don't have to change your whole diet, but try it for 2 weeks and see what happens. See, do you feel better? Do you think clearer? Are you less irritable, right? Because if we can think clearly, we can find a way to do other things that can impact us. So I just want people to walk away with, what would it take for me just to be a little bit healthier today? What would that look like? What can I add to my diet?
Not just for you, to your kids, and your family, and try to make it better. That's the key.
I agree.
I'm impressed, sir. Let me know what else we need to do to make things work in your organization.
We'll do.
And we'll get things set up and roll from there. Then I can start to write some of the shareholder meetings, since I go to all these shareholder meetings, and we have to make statements and say, hey, this is what's needed in corporation XYZ.
Yes.
And this is what you can do.
Yeah. We can do it.
Wait, we'll get a chance to talk more. You'll tell me what I need to present, and then we will go from there.
Keep it moving. Thank you.
But we went through a ton of time and got a lot of data on the table.
We did.
I'm sure people need to play this thing back again. They'll be watching it multiple times.
Yeah.
You'll see it on YouTube. And you can get this thing online and say, hey, this is what he said on YouTube.
Yeah.
I saw him say that.
Yeah.
So now it's a matter of saying, yes, it can work. And it's working. Are you in the game or are you just lost? So right now he's put some opportunities on the table. Saying, hey, this is what